Steve, you require 100.
So West has left a ton to get the break at a 2-0 lead. Tops. In it goes.
On the second leg.
And just like last night, Steve West kicking off well. 2-0 to the good against Gemma Hayter, looking to reverse the scoreline from last night's meeting.
You require 10.
And so for the match, double 5 for Steve West. And once again, Steve West kicks off the night with a real good start, a real good win. He gets the better of Gemma Hayter by 4 legs to 1. Average just under 86 in the end. The doubling quite good as well. 4 from 7. As for Gemma Hayter, well, defeat to kickstart her campaign on this Friday evening. West now to within a couple of points. Next up for us it is Darius Lavanauskas in action. He can move on to 10 points and leave Kieran Teehan, well, in a creek without a paddle. And that game comes up next.
And that's not the traditional way to go and the way that people go now. But in the situation, with your opponent on 80.
Game shot on the 5th leg. Kieran Teehan.
Although he did get a dart at double 16. He could, of course, come out and go for the 48, but he hasn't done that. Tried the more difficult dart. Maybe the open shot of 48 to get a dart at the ball may have been the play, but
20.
He felt not.
And so double 10 for Darius. For a 4-2 victory, it puts him on to 10 points. And it pretty much puts him there in terms of qualification. The I's still need to be dotted and the T's still need to be crossed. But Darius Lavanauskas is almost there. He can almost taste tomorrow night's final. He beats Kieran Teehan by 4 legs to 2. This is how he's done so, with an average of 91.5 just over. 4 from 10 on the doubles. Coming up after the break, Gemma Hayter up against Richard Rowlands.
Gemma, you require 81.
Leaves himself on 80 with the treble. Double 12 then for Hayter to go 3-3.
Game shot.
Nicely done by her.
Gemma Hayter.
A little 2 dart, tip, tap, out
7
she goes.
from final leg.
Nicely done, double 8. And the first win on the evening for Gemma Hayter.
Gemma Hayter!
What a superb last leg from her. 17 dart holder throw. Smile on the face says it all. She managed to repeat the score from the previous evening against Richard Rowlands. 90.98. Not too shabby at all from her, but 44% on the doubles. That's when the game was won and lost, 4 from 9. Impressive from Gemma Hayter. We head off to a short break, and on our return, we will see Darius Lavanauskas taking on Steve West.
This relentless Lithuanian who comes back at the board, looking at double 8 to confirm his place into Saturday night showdown. Darius Lavanauskas is back there again. There was nothing lucky about Lucky D's performances. Pretty much put Gemma Hayter on the cusp of the winners' enclosure in this group. So 1 dart at the ball for the match for Richard Rowlands. And he only needs the 1 dart at the ball to seal a 4-0 victory against Kieran Teehan. And it puts Welshie on the cusp of qualification. It puts him on to 6 points. It puts him in a very good suit.
Double 13 reared its ugly head. It's tops for Hayter. Oh, yes, please, Gemma Hayter.
Gemma Hayter. Second leg, it's Darius to throw first.
No reaction from Gemma at all.
Gemma, you require 101.
Double 12 coming in.
Game shot.
And a nice 101 to go with the 99. Gemma had earlier. Fist
7
pumps
from
there.
final leg, it's Gemma to throw 5.
Gemma Hayter. She probably
16.
thought that was going. Double 8. For a match-winning 13-dart leg. She worked hard for that one from 3-0 down to Gemma Hayter. clawed it back to 4-3. She just does not know when to give in, this young lady. Really pleasing to have her back in the game. Look at this, a 4-3 win, 94.12. Beats the 92.16 of Lavan. He didn't roll over and have his belly tickled there. 4 from 5 on the doubles for Hayter. Highest checkout of 101. She guarantees her place in the Saturday night final tomorrow night and will be one happy lady. So we're going to head off to a short break, and when we return it will be Richard Rowlands taking on Steve West.
Richard, you require 114.
And for me, no matter what he does this evening, there aren't too many that wouldn't want Steve West's record here in this building, that's for sure, on their CV.
$14 for tops for Rowlands to take out this opening leg. In it goes, and Rowlands is free away
Richard
from
Rowlands.
tomorrow evening's finale
40.
to book his passage, book his ticket through, and
28.
to end the unblemished run of Steve West in qualification weeks. Double 14. And Richard Rowlands completes the set of combatants for the first finals night of Series 9. He gets the better of Steve West by 4-0, doing so for 14 darter. And Walshy can be relieved because he is through to the finals, doing so with 2 top plus checkouts en route to a 4-0 win against Steve West, for whom his perfect record in terms of qualification through to the finals is over. Rowlands preserves his. 3 times he's been here, 3 Saturday nights. Coming up after the break, we have got 3 more games to go, and they kickstart with Kieran Teehan against Gemma Hayter.
You require 112.
So Hayter 112 to level this game up at 1-1. Great treble 20 there, double 16. That's a haymaker from Hayter.
Gemma Hayter.
Just when it looked like Kieran Teehan was going to run away with this contest.
Treble 19 would leave the ball. This would be some
107.
consolation.
Gemma, you require 60.
Is that the last dart he throws in this match?
Yes, it is, because Gemma Hayter ends with a win. She gets the better of Kieran Teehan by 4 legs to 1. A superb performance to round off her campaign. She's going to be a threat tomorrow evening when it comes to the finals. Hayter getting the better of Teehan by 4 legs to 1, dispatching the man from Cork in 10.5 minutes. We'll see him in the last game against West. But we're going to see 2 of our qualifiers go toe-to-toe in our next match as Darius Labanauskas takes on Richard Rowlands. And there is a possibility that if Rowlands wins this game big, Gemma Hayter could top the group. Tops for the 116. Tops found for Darius at the 116 to the collection. It's actually his first leg of the night in terms of a ton plus variety. You compete in this year, Scott?
No, I'll give it a miss. They don't seem to sell 2 left shoes or for the dancers.
Forget the dancing. This could be darting with delight. Oh, yes. Oh, boy. There's nothing lucky about that. An active darting defiance of the 118. Needs the treble here to leave double 19.
It's nice and open. A clear target to go for. And he's hit it. So now double 19.
99. Darius,
lovely facial expression there from Richard Rowlands as if to say, no, it's not in.
And this is for the win. 2 in hand at double 10. Off the barrel at him. Darius has been delirious. He has been delightful. He's been dazzling. And he is the diamond in this Group B. He is the winner of this Group B. And he beats Richard Rowlands by 4-0. Doing so with 2-ton plus checkouts in there. Darius having a chat with Owen Binks about the night that he's had. And it's been a good night for Darius Labanauskas. And for the second night in a row, he finishes off with a ton plus average, 100.2 in a 4-0 win against Richard Rowlands. A cracking performance from Darius. We're going to take a short break. I'm going to have a swig of water, and we're going to watch Steve West up against Kieran Teehan. His hand to finally get a win on the board. It's awkward. It's double 15. Double 4 does not go, and Steve West will return for double 2 to take us the distance.
No score.
Bust it. And Teehan will come back for double 4 to complete a 4-2 win to end this Group B. And finally, Kieran Teehan is in the winner's enclosure. He gets the better of Steve West by 4-2. It was not a group that worked out for Steve West. He doesn't qualify. Neither does Kieran Teehan, but he does at least end with a win. He beats Steve West by 4-2 in the final game of the night. And the final game of the group, a group which has seen Richard Rowlands progress through, Gemma Hayter on debut make Saturday, and Darius Labanauskas be the standout player. He won 7 out of his 8 matches. He's the winner of Group B. Myself and Scott Mitchell will be analysing all of the action on the other side of this short break. Welcome back to the Modus Super Series, where our Group B session has been completed. And as you can see, Richard Rowlands has joined us in the studio for a chat. Richard, many congratulations. 3rd time here at the Super Series, 3rd time into a finals night. How pleased are you?
Oh, I'm over the moon. Seriously, absolutely fantastic. What a group, eh? Darius was on fire, but I mean, I think the only person to be spoken about in that group is Gemma. She was absolutely sensational. I threw everything at her in 2 games, including the kitchen sink, and she just held up. She was amazing. Great for the ladies' game, I think. It was brilliant.
It's incredible to see that smile on your face, because you are a player that's really come to preeminence towards the twilight of your career. I think that's fair to say,
this is true, yeah.
And I suppose you must be embracing these opportunities, aren't you, when they come?
Every time. I enjoy going up. I have no inspirations in the game. I think, you know, everything for me is just, I'll take one game at a time and see how far I can go. I go on that hockey. Nobody likes to lose, do they? So it's one game and I give it my all.
The sport is saying it's a young man's game at the minute, but you're sat in here again now. It was Richie Burnett again last week. It was Derek Coulson a couple of weeks ago. I think the seniors have got something to give still to the game, don't you?
Well, I think the seniors, I've personally playing on the senior tour and knowing how competitive that is, it's brought me on. It's given me a new lease on life, should I say, at my old age of 53. But you know, it's the standard on the senior tour is absolute, as you well know, Scott. It's crazy, isn't it?
What does it do to a player like you to have Mr. Taylor saying such nice things about you in one of the World Seniors events at the end of last year? That must be just lovely to hear from the GOAT saying such nice things about you.
Well, do you know what? We had a few moments together, and he told me a couple of things that I was doing wrong. And when you hear somebody like Phil telling you, I couldn't wait to leave Blackpool, get back home, and the first thing I did was I threw the suitcases to one side and went, right, I'm practicing, I need to get more fluent. And it was tidying up the 5s and 1s, basically, is what he said. If you can tidy them up, and you'll put 6 or 7 points on your average, and that means, you know, overall you'll be getting down. Overall scoring's going to improve, and I think if you look at my stats between Blackpool and now, I'd like to think that I've taken what Phil told me on board, and it was just brilliant.
And your stats this evening are very good and actually illustrate the fact that your averages and your numbers are going in a upward direction. You must have been very happy with your level of play this evening.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think I've been. It's just the averages. You get to you go through certain stages. I think in your darts career, and you're happy when you're hitting a 75 average, and then you get up to an 80. And I'm at the stage right now that I hit a 95, and I'm like, well, I've still left a few darts on the board. So yeah, there's more to come, I think. So when you feel if you won the game and there's still more to come, there's world to your oyster, I think.
Richard, we'll have another chat in just a second. Myself and Scott are going to analyse the rest of what we've seen this evening. And it was Darius Labanauskas who won the group, winning 7 out of his 8 matches. Now, we said that we didn't think there'd be too many issues in terms of him going through. He just made the easiest of progress possible. Just so consistent, so reliable at all times.
Yeah, we've said it on a few occasions this evening. He sets the bar at that level, and you have to go and get him, and he will go and step that level up. He will jump up and surprise you with a nice little shot out, which is what we're seeing here.
Sorry, Richard.
Yeah, sorry about that, Richard. It's against you. But this is what he does when he's having a little smile about it and saying sorry. But this is what he does when he's asked the question, Darius. And look, he hasn't had a tour card for all that time for nothing. And
no, absolutely.
Sometimes you're a little bit unfortunate when you drop off that tour, but he hasn't let it get to him, Darius. He's using it as a weapon and getting himself ready this year to go back to Q School and try and get that card back.
Richard mentioned a moment ago, Gemma Hayter's kind of been the story of this group. The headlines were about her coming into it on Thursday. Sometimes that's not easy to back up, but the way she played this week, particularly tonight at times, there was a really, really good level there. Absolutely,
and she's hit that level quite quickly. Let's not forget, she kind of only came back in January. A little bit of the Luke Littler effect. She picked her darts up again and started having a throw, and said, I'm starting to play well here, and was offered a little chance to go to the ladies tour in March, and she hasn't really looked back. It's been a really good 6 months for her. And the good thing for the ladies' game is it's another top player that they're talking about. So the depth is now coming. It's not just 1 or 2 like it used to be. It's now 5, 6, 8 of those women playing at such a standard that the next few years for them is going to be brilliant.
Absolutely.
You got to say, Richard?
No, I was going to say absolutely. It's just phenomenal. I only realised this evening that she'd only started playing again in January. I was like, I was in shock, and to be doing what she's doing at the moment, she's second PDC win on the weekend, and to be doing what she's doing this week, absolutely phenomenal. She's definitely going to be one to watch tomorrow night.
Well, this is how the tournament bracket breaks down. Carl Wilson booked his way through on Wednesday afternoon. Darius Labanauskas, Gemma Hayter, and Richard Rowlands, as you can see in your picture there, through Group B this evening, and early on this afternoon, Neil Duff. Bradley Brooks booking their places through. And this is how the groups are going to break down. First time you've had a look at this, Richard, I'm sure. Group 1, Carl Wilson, Gemma Hayter, Bradley Brooks. You are with Lavan again, and Neil Duff, a man I'm sure you know a lot of on the World Seniors Tour.
Myself and Neil are good friends, so we know each other's games quite well. So, yeah, we're looking forward to it.
What's your thoughts on those 2 groups tomorrow night, Scott?
I think, again, there's 2 tough groups for very different reasons. We have sort of Carl Wilson is the guy that we weren't expecting to see there, and it's going to be a great experience for him no matter what. He will open up the show in Game 1. He's had a couple of days off, gone back to Kent, and it'll be interesting whether he returns with the same form that he left with.
Richard, final word goes to you. You've won a week here before the Super Series. Back-to-back Champions Weeks could be something on the horizon.
Well, do you know what? Like I said, my game is I'll take one game at a time and see where we end up after the first couple of games and see what happens after that. So I'm looking forward to it. I used to play Carl, one of the few people probably that know him. We used to play a lot online together. So it's going to be the first time I'm going to meet him. Mm-hmm. We've met over the internet, but yeah, I'm looking forward to having a quick, meeting him face to face.
Well, Richard, many congratulations.
Thank
We
you
shall
very
see you
much.
tomorrow night. See you tomorrow night as well. And we'll see you tomorrow night as well. 7:30 p.m. we get started on the Super Series YouTube channel to see who the first player through to Champions Week is going to be. Lavan's going to be there. Gemma Hayter's going to be the hometown hero. And Richard Rowlands is hoping to roll into town the victor. Bye from us.